Hey, it's Joey Balladonna here from Anthrax, and this is SAGAS.
Well,
Look, this is a big one.
I didn't break out during the podcast today.
It is now time for Devil's Advocate. Same time, same place, awesome. What's going on, everybody? This is Corbin, the Serpent Tongue Skipwith.
This is Rand, the Berserker Marvel, and this is
Agus.
SAGAS.
We have very special guest
Yeah.
today, the band Expedition. And boys, if you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, we're Expedition. My name is Queeving. I'm the lead singer and rhythm guitarist.
Right.
I'm Ruben. I'm the lead guitarist in the band.
And I'm
Nice.
Ewan. I'm Ruben's brother. I'm the drummer in the band.
Yeah, cool. I was gonna ask you that. Are you brothers? Because I know it's the surname.
Yeah.
So yeah, happy days.
Yeah.
Right, boys.
So today we'll be talking about the album "A Good Day to Die," which you can find behind me. So, all right, I think I may as well start this thing. So, the first question that I want to ask, because funny enough, I think I was talking to you guys before I was even talking to Ren, because I think this album came before even Ren. So I've had experience with this album. I've listened to it multiple times for the review and now for SAGAS. So the first question I want to ask is I want to know about track one, Divide and Conquer. For me, for most albums, the first track can really be the most interesting because it's how you start the album off. It's the first thing you hear on the album, obviously. So I want to know, how did that track come about? The actual laying of it, the lyrics, the sound. What was going through your guys' head, making that your intro track?
Well, for me, like when I was writing it, I was writing it back like lockdown, around like August 2020, like because when you're locked down, like there wasn't really much going on. But I don't know, me and you, and just that was our first track really, and we wanted to start writing, and to be honest, we didn't really know what we were doing. We just kind of kept going, and then the track happened. Like the start is like meant to be kind of it's soft and it's meant to build suspense, and then it kicks off then, and yeah, we're quite proud of it because like we think it's gonna kick ass, so stuff like that.
Yeah,
It is. It is kick ass. Like it's a really nice intro. It's the clean guitars. Like I wasn't expecting that straight away.
Yeah, no, I like that because like it builds
that's
suspense.
nice. But I remember I'd seen his live. Yeah, that's it, man. That's the way it is. But come here. So tell us about the process of recording. You recorded with Nigel, didn't you, in Hedgehog Studios? Tell us about the whole process.
It's had its ups and downs, but no, Nigel's a really, really cool guy, and he's really patient for our bullshit. So no, he was really good, to be fair. He had his own little input where he thought was necessary. He threw his own input in there as well. But it was all in all, it was a really good experience because I suppose we weren't up there for hours and hours and hours, kind of going over little nitty gritty things. It was all kind of, for our first time recording, it was a very smooth process. And he made us feel very welcome up there because yourself, you could go some places and it could be all very like professional or whatever, but no, Nigel he made us feel at home anyway, and he also shared a passion for metal as well, so he knew what we were going for. He knew what he was talking about, and all in all, it was a good experience for first time recording.
Class. I remember chatting to him and he was telling me that he was going for the old school sound, which is that he wanted to make it sound as if he's recorded back in the heyday of thrash back in the late 80s, mid 80s kind of thing, which I thought was really cool because when I listened to it again afterwards, I was like, oh shit, man, yeah, it really, really does. Like it sounds like it's from that era, which is something we discuss about a lot on the podcast. Albums sounding like it's from a certain era, and I just thought it was kick-ass. But did it take as long to record? All in all?
I think we.
Well, like it started like the first track we recorded was like Within the Shadows. That was kind of around August time. And yourself, you record the song, and then it takes a few months to release it then because obviously you're building up hype and promotion and stuff like that. Like, and the recording process went from August to around January, but like there's a lot of breaks in between each song. So I think each song kind of took 4 weeks to record, and then we moved on to the next one. So yeah, it was like it wasn't that long. I don't know, like we're not really professional when it comes to recording, so like we don't know what's like the time length. But like all in all, I kind of flew in like it was fun. Like, you know what I mean, we enjoy recording, like, and it was a good experience. So I didn't feel long, to be honest. So it was good.
Right,
Yeah.
happy days.
You know, yeah, I was gonna say I find it so, but like, you know, every time I listen to this album, it still blows me away remembering that this is your first time recording. Like, it sounds so, you know, it does sound like an album, like an early Anthrax album or a real early Slayer album, like the 1984 Slayer, you know, 1983 Slayer, and you really have that tone, have that production, have that style locked up. So what made you guys choose that kind of style for your music?
Do you want to?
You want to take us?
Like just I suppose that's all the genres of music we just slowly built up to over time. Like I started off myself listening to stuff like Bruce Springsteen, and just got heavier and heavier. Then, like a while before the band started itself, you and Keegan were just playing Guns N' Roses covers in our house, and then I joined in, and then we kind of. I think it was Keegan who first found out about Metallica. Then we kind of all joined on and then started to explore the other fresh stuff. Then, so
Yeah.
That's always the way. It's like one corrupts the rest of you, is like, you know.
That's all that happens.
Yeah, I'm doing something similar with Cass at the minute. You know, I'm corrupting his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to be such a nice boy.
Used to be.
Yeah, happy days. So come here, the artwork is class as well. Where did that come about?
Yeah.
I think me and Keegan.
I was looking about. Oh, sorry, but
no. Go ahead. You're all right.
So, yeah, it's hard to know, like, when you can't really see each other. But I was gonna say, yeah, I was looking about, to be honest, for like graphic illustrators and art designers, stuff like that. And I came across some boy called Michael McGorry, I think so. And I just rang him, and like I was telling him the crack, like, you know, the metal cover art. And you know, thankfully he knew what he was doing, because like he's a big Pantera fan, he said, back in the day. So I was happy enough because he knew what he was drawing and what he was illustrating. And to be honest, I think the art turned out really well, because it kind of represents what the album's about. And I think just the scenery and just the simpleness, I think, kind of represents the songs too, because the songs are quite like enough round simplicity. So I really like the album art.
Yeah, it's class. It's like the color scheme. Like, we always talk about artwork as well on the show. I love the color scheme. I love the fact that, you know, you use the mountains, you know, that like a valley or something. And I'm not entirely sure what the pole is in the middle, but it looks like he's throwing daggers at it or something.
It's meant to be like an execution post. An execution post.
Yeah. So I wasn't far off. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, close enough.
You know, I'm curious. So, what inspired the actual album name, A Good Day to Die?
I can't even do that one because he wrote the lyrics for the title track. So,
yeah, the title track, I suppose, like, to be honest, like, we were listening to a lot of like early thrash stuff, and you know yourself, kind of war is a big theme in early thrash stuff. And to be honest, I think it's a very interesting topic too. But even in school, like, I love history, especially like all the war kind of era. So I kind of like had I say maybe a passion that's too strong for saying about it, like, but I did enjoy writing about it. And then it's just about a soldier is fighting his war, like, but he's in his last few days, and you know he's gonna, bit dark, but he's gonna get executed, like, but he kind of looks upon like the scenery, and like, you know, he's kind of happy. Well, not happy to die, because nobody's fucking happy to die, but it's kind of more like, if he's going to die today, it's not a bad day to die. So I suppose that's the easy way of putting it.
Yeah, he was ready for it, like.
yeah. I don't know how ready you are for death, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, sick. Like, so, have you a favorite song on the album that you'd like to play live?
Yeah, I'll probably Shadows.
Shadows.
Sorry, I've already started there.
No, sorry. You go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think, I feel like, Shadows is my favorite one anyway, but I feel like I can speak for all of us as well with that one, because it because it is a single, it gets a good bit of a reaction, and not even just like with people singing along with the lyrics, but there's a harmony section that, you know, we've had people kind of chant with that, and like, you know, like people singing your lyrics is one thing, but I suppose when they're chanting your music and your riffs, that's pretty special. Because like not everybody's going to know that bit. But yeah, like that there one would be a pretty special one anyway. It's a good one.
It is a great song. It's actually one of my favorites. It would actually be my favorite on the album. And I may as well segue into it because I was going to ask you about it anyway. What's that song about?
Oh, Ruben wrote here the lyrics, so
Ruben wrote the lyrics. So
I think I can't really remember fully now, but it was something to do with the Mongolians invading Japan, I think. Yeah.
Nice.
it's like the Ghost of Tsushima game.
It was inspired by
Yeah.
the game Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but that was kind of where the spark came from then, and then kind of just and like kind of as a general, just like countries getting invaded would be kind of a theme of it as well. Yeah.
Class. Yeah, it's a great tune. Like I love everything about it. Like the vocals are awesome. You've got that big fat bass line, but there's some really, really sick riffs on it as well. Like I absolutely love it. The drums are fantastic, by the way. Absolutely brilliant. Like it's so anybody that's watching this and doesn't realize that these boys are only, young lads, and they're able to play this sort of stuff. Like, they're it's exceptional. Like, I was blown away when I seen these playing live. Where were we in the number 52 here in Letterkenny? Yeah, in the Central.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen these live. I actually am pretty sure I didn't know, hadn't heard these at that stage because it's one of your first gigs, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, holy shit, these boys are proper, killing it. Like, it's like, if I could play like you boys when, I was your age,
thank you.
you know what I mean? I'd be doing well.
Yeah.
Anyway, Corbs.
No, the Central was like our second gig, like, and like is like because our first gig was like the LK Boston Festival. I don't know if you heard of that. It was on yesterday, actually, or not yesterday, Saturday.
Sunday.
That was our first gig, so it was, and like that was unreal, to be honest. Because like we were so nervous for our first gig. You know yourself, like anything you see people in front of you when you're playing your bedroom, it's different because no one watching you. But like you think when it's live, everyone hears every mistake when they don't anyway. But the Central gig, yeah, that was class. We got to meet you guys and the first tip us as well, so that was really good.
Like, I think we have a bass player joining us here, do we?
And Austin may join the chat.
Happy days. Well, Corbs.
All right, cool. I was making sure he's part of it. Yeah. So I'm curious. Did COVID really affect your guys' production of this album? The time it took to release and all that. Was COVID a really big factor, or not really for you guys?
Like it was and it wasn't. Like for one thing, obviously there was no gigs going, but at the same time we weren't really. I don't even know if we were really ready for gigs because for a start we only had myself, Kevin, and Ruben. We had no bass player because it was really, really hard to find a bass player anyway. But in that setting, being COVID, it made it even harder. But I suppose that the blessing that with COVID was it gave us all the time in the world to get writing, and that's all. And like we were putting in maybe 8 or 10 hour days out here at my house, just writing all the time and practicing and going over stuff. And I suppose while we were doing that, then maybe when it came into the middle months of 2021, we started to put ads out for a bass player. And initially we had no luck, but we like Ashin was a mutual friend, so we reached out to him, and who didn't actually originally play bass, but he decided then he would give it a go. And it was around the summer then when things started to clear up. It started to really get going. So COVID, it had a good day and its bad days because it was kind of nearly a bit of a blessing that it gave us the time to write. So I wouldn't change the way it worked out, to be honest.
And what a great time to speak about the man. He's just joined us. Welcome, Mushin.
Sorry for being late. It's just the joys of living in the countryside and terrible internet.
Happy days. The boys were just speaking highly of you there, and so we're at the point of the podcast where this album is incredible. I love it. Absolutely great work. And I just spoke about the bass. Fantastic bass on the album as well. Like I absolutely love the bass on Eye for an Eye at the start. It's killer with the big China symbol. It's badass. Like just it excited me. So now that you're here, bro, I just wanted to ask, have you a favorite song from the album that you like to play live?
I'd say for me, I love playing Divide and Conquer. It's just a great opener, and it's just fast, and it's really in your face. And like to me, whenever we like started learning it at first, I was just like, yeah, this would going to be my favorite song. It's just
Uh,
really in your face, and that's what I liked about it.
Deadly. I think we all like that one. Like Corbs, I think I have a feeling you like that one.
Yeah, great track.
Yeah, badass. So just on a fun note, just came into my head. If you boys could tour with any band in the world, who would it be?
Oh God, it's hard. Like what era? Like would it be Metallica now or Metallica like back in the day?
Let's say your tour 2023.
Oh, okay. Oh, very good.
It's
Are we
not.
are we headlining?
I'd
I don't
say
know.
you're mid tier.
Okay. I say honestly Metallica because A, the roots kind of for his whole band, and B, it's the same kind of genre, so it just fits in. And like I think me and you and I think everyone's just big Metallica fans here, to be honest. So you can't really go wrong. But like, so
That's a good one. That's
that's
it,
right.
boys. Sure, we'll all make it happen. Get you touring with
Yeah,
Metallica.
fingers crossed.
Happy days. Happy days.
Yeah.
Sorry, Corbs. I'm just on a tangent here, waffling, man.
Yeah. So I'm curious. So, listening to this album as much as I have from when it first came out to now for the podcast, I'm curious are you guys planning on progressing this same sound for your future releases? Or are you gonna be more diverse, try new stuff, or are you gonna stick to this?
Stick with the thrash, but try and make it kind of more complex and more progressive as we go on with it. But I wouldn't say it's strained from thrash too much. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, I
Like
mean you can't go wrong with thrash. Hey, Corbs.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
like we're staying towards kind of thrash, to be honest. Like it's kind of like, but we want to as well, in the same thing, evolve the sound. And as Ruben said, to make it a bit more complex because like the first album is like I think what the beauty of it almost is simplicity, and we don't want to lose that either because simplicity is good, and if it's simple, it's easy to hear, and like people like it. But we want to evolve the sound, make it more. I don't know, but like I think the first album maybe it was our like we were new to it, and not that like we didn't know what we were doing, but as I say, we were new, and maybe now we have more experience maybe. And I think about the past 2 years we've listened to new bands and more bands, and we've got more influences. So we take like Ruben likes death metal, and like I like new metal and stuff like that. So like you take like a bit from death metal or a bit from new metal, and like put it in, and hopefully it turns out good. Stuff like that.
Yeah, class. Like I said earlier on about you being unique from where you
Mm.
are geographically. I've been in the metal scene in Ireland for a long time. But I've
Yeah,
seen all kinds of thrash bands coming in and out. And you guys remind me of my good buddies from Crossfire when they started out.
yeah,
When they started out, they were in like their late teens, like 18, 19, hitting on 20, and they just blew me away because they just had this mega like natural talent from a young age. And the minute I saw you boys, it just made me think of that. But then you've had a lot of different things that were really obvious because of where like I said, geographically where you're from. You know,
yeah,
um, it's really interesting because when I moved out here to Donegal and my music got lighter and more abstract, and I was I just gravitate towards traditional instrumentation as well.
yeah.
But I'll always have that grit and that heavy stuff in my soul. But you boys you're in this lovely, lovely place, and you're just like blasting out this full on trash metal that's would rival any trash metal bands in the country, I think. Already, give you boys a few years and you could easily top the table on that. But I
Thank
just find
you.
it really, yeah, yeah. Sure, stop with you. No, but I love seeing I love taking the artist and their location and seeing how that works together. And I just find it really interesting that you boys are thrashing it out up here in Donegal, you know, because I don't know if there's been many in the past. I never heard of anybody. All the thrash bands I know are from, you know, Belfast or Cork or Dublin, you know, that kind of way. So,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, you're paving a way. You probably don't even realize, but you are carving a path here for other bands, you know. So fair
Yeah,
play.
like it has like in Donegal, obviously it has its ups and downs because like obviously as you say at the minute like the only thrash band in Donegal there, can I? But as well, there's not really much of a great scene here for like metal in Donegal. So like you have to be able to travel, which and to be honest, we've had gigs there, Kenny, and it's gone down really well. And like
Yeah,
and we're fortunate enough that people actually come to our gigs, like, and people actually enjoying it. So like we're not complaining. We're happy to get anywhere, and we're hoping just to keep branching off because get maybe the big smoke Dublin or Belfast, whatever. But
yeah. Well,
just
that's
keep
it.
going and hopefully, yeah.
Speaking about gigs, you do have a pretty cool gig coming up, though, don't you?
Oh
Yeah.
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 What's your
No,
next
they're
gig?
all
Sounds
right.
In the
like a good
ballot.
one.
Yeah, and the Baller. Oh, I must go.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, you should be going. Nah, we're looking forward to that
Yeah.
one. Just like stage and all in this class. So, really, really looking forward to it.
Class. Yeah, well, anybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about, we're playing the Realm Arbor and the Berserkers are joining forces with the Might Expedition on the 27th of August. So in the Baller Theatre, I can't wait for that one. It's gonna be great. Like,
Yeah, it'll,
and
it'll be good. It'll be good.
yeah, Celador are breaking it up a little bit. You know, like you boys are bringing the full on thrash to Ballybuffet, and then Celador are keeping it, that slick rock stuff, and then we'll be just singing about Odin and drinking horns and whatnot.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, happy days.
I guess you could call it a Viking expedition.
Oh,
Yeah.
There we are.
nice,
Yeah.
man.
Nice one.
That's that
Start making
Australian
t-shirts.
whip. Yeah. Happy days.
So I'm curious, and obviously, it would be good to get an answer from each one of you. But if you guys alone were stranded on a desert island, and you could only have one album to listen to for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Austin,
Do you want to go
take it
first,
sir?
Stephen? Or
Or no, I should go first. Austin, you go first.
Yeah. Ooh, that is a really tough question.
yeah, that's hard.
I'd say like when I first listened to this album, it was insane, and I loved it ever since. But I'd say I'd go with Flying Wheels by Gojira, or From Mars to Sirius, even that one. Jesus, Flying Wheels. It has Flying Wheels on the album, and
Nice.
when I first heard that song, I was like, I didn't even think a heavy metal song could sound like it. It was just mental. Yeah, that From Mars to Sirius, Gojira.
For me, probably Iowa by Slipknot because I've been listening to that the past couple months and just kicked ass. So be Iowa for me.
Be
Ian?
Symbolic by Death
Oh.
for me. Symbolic by Death.
I'm kind of on the fence with two, and this is going to be really really controversial, but I think the Black Album or Load. I can't really decide between the two because I think Load gets a lot of stick. There's more songs in it for a start, so you're not going to get bored as easily. Right? There's 14 songs in it, but I feel like if you really listen to it, you can hear that the transition that they were going for, and I feel like it gets a lot of unnecessary hits. But when you actually listen to like the inspiration that went into the writing and even the lyrics, like some of those lyrics are very meaningful. Like one of those songs is very I don't want to get too mushy, but like as a space in my heart anyway. So I would say either Load or the Black Album for me anyway. Yeah.
It's funny because out of all because I do my own personal interviews outside of SAGAS, and out of all the people I've interviewed metal artists, the Black Album has been chosen for the most overrated album choice.
Oh,
Actually,
people can have their opinions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure though, Corbin, when you interviewed me, I said it was the most underrated album. Did I?
And then Terrence said overrated.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I agree. the whole load and reload thing, you know, I was around when that actually happened. You know, and it was just like, that's cool. Like the people didn't like that they got a little slick, you know, and James had his hair slicked, and you know they got a little bit more cool with the sunglasses, all that kind of stuff. But it was badass. Still to this day, they're two of my favorites. So I agree with John.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
a true underrated album by Metallica is Death Magnetic. That's right.
Yeah. Big
I
time.
love that album.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I guess I'm the only one, maybe. I don't know, but I love that album.
No, that's good. It's just definitely a good one as well. Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna go there, I think Saint Anger is definitely underrated.
I know you're pushing it. You're really pushing it now.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'll go as far as say that's the most magnificent snare I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, really?
Controversial there.
Yeah, this might be.
So yeah, Ren, do you have any other questions, Stars?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you kind of hit on the new material. Have you any plans to go in and record or anytime soon?
Yeah, we're
Like,
currently
we talked
writing
about it.
more.
Yeah.
Oh, you go ahead. No, you got it.
All right. No, I was just saying we're currently writing more tracks. We have, well, two and a half. We have two complete. A third one's in the making still. So this was plans for the studio. I think we are thinking of going back to Nigel Haggerty anyway, up in Hedgehogs up there. We are going to go for. We're not going to change the sound of the mix too much, but we do want to kind of, as you say, evolve. You know, into the next one. We don't want to make a complete part two kind of thing. To go day to day, but you know, we're just continue every time we rehearse now. We're more focused on the writing process. Obviously, when we come up to gigs, we'd be focusing on the set list we have planned. But yeah, we're constantly writing, and hopefully now, maybe in the coming weeks, months, we get back into the studio and maybe release a single and see what happens. Yeah.
Awesome! I can't wait to hear more stuff, lads. Yeah, no, I think it's a good mix with you guys and Nigel because you know he knows your sound already. Like it'd be nice to see you know the evolution with him for the first couple of albums anyway. Like
yeah, he's a good guy to record with because like he knows he's a avid Metallica fan. Like he knows what he's talking about because Metallica. Like so, you know, it really helps when have something like that because we were planning to record, we were like, oh shit, like who are we gonna record with? We don't know, like you know where we go. We can't go to like a blues studio. And then just by potluck, honestly, I just came across Nigel's on Facebook and just the rest is history.
That's it. And I'll give Nigel a shout out here because anybody that knows Rem Arbor and Berserkers, our bass player Cass plays in a band called Kessler with Nigel. And I'll give Hedgehog Studios a shout out. I done a live stream from there one time with the boys, and it's a lovely studio. So any bands that are looking in the area for somewhere to record, I highly recommend, as the boys would, to Nigel Haggerty in Hedgehog Studios. Shout out to Nigel.
It's not just metal either. It's all different music too. So if it's like if everyone's watching, it's not just metal. So good range.
Yeah, that's it. Bring your country tunes down to Nigel. Bring your dance tracks, whatever you have.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah, you know, this has been a great episode. You know, it's really fun to have more than one person. You know, more than three people on a cast. So it's been amazing. And the one thing I'm not sure if Ren told you guys, but every time we have a guest on SAGAS, we like for them to choose the next album we're going to cover next week. Now, there's a lot of you, so I don't know how it's going to work. But, you know, come together for one album, and then we'll cover it next week. And
so
like from any band, like any band ever.
Any band.
Yeah.
I think we'll go with Metallica. I think that's all kind of like a common kind of ground we all have.
Yeah.
No, Justice maybe. I like Justice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, probably go with Joe. I'll not make us choose load. I'll not do that.
Justice. All right.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Go with Justice for all.
That's a good pick, boys. I'll enjoy that one. Nice one.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like Corbin said, it was great chatting to you boys, and you know, I'll see you on the 27th if I don't see you beforehand, and you know, just keep being awesome and keep up the you know, keep the passion going for the thrash in Donegal, boys.
Yeah. we'll do it. Thank you.
Nice. All right.
Cheers.
Have a good one and stay metal.
Yeah.
Good luck, boys.
Sure.